My name is Fidel Chagoya, and I work for Starting Over Inc. as an organizer for Riverside, All of Us or None. Riverside, All of Us or None is a national grassroots organization led by folks that have been incarcerated and are currently incarcerated to eliminate some of the barriers that exist for folks when they come home. So we work on policy work. We also at our location, we have transitional housing. I work in reentry with men and women coming home from incarceration. We have an employment development section of our program where we teach folks about the importance of being able to do a mock interview, being able to work on your resume and articulate your resume to your skills, so that way when you go look for employment, you're ready. So it's pretty much employment readiness, and there is a really good section that we work on that is entrepreneurship development, which is if folks are thinking about creating their own businesses, because we always encourage that, we fund $10,000 to $15,000 to the individual if they have a business plan, they present it, and they're very structured with what it would take for them to start that business. What housing justice means to me is having access. Having access when I'm trying to communicate with somebody and I'm communicating that I'm having problems at my apartment, or whether it's at a house that I'm renting, that I need fixtures, whether it's plumbing, whether it's having to deal with mold in my apartment, or whether it's something that's broken in there and it needs fixture. Being able to communicate with someone to get those things fixed and worked on are very important for me. A lot of folks that are living with records don't like to raise any kind of attention towards them, because we're discriminated against a lot because of our backgrounds and because of our records. So when it comes time to renting places, we have to rent places which are not the best places, where some of the owners aren't fixing some of the fixtures that need to be fixed, such as the situation with the mold that was growing in my restroom. So I pretty much had to clean it myself, and it never got fixed unless I cleaned it. And I would have to do that probably every 6 to 7 months. I mean, I think it's important for everyone to learn what their rights are. I think it's important for everyone to know the steps that it takes, so that way they get some of these things worked on. And especially for folks, men and women coming home after incarceration, not even knowing how to navigate those systems, or knowing where they're going to be able to rent from, not wanting to cause any conflict within the places that they're renting, just accepting that. So just learning about we don't have to accept that. What can we do? What are the next steps? How can we get involved? How can we petition, or how can we get signatures, so then that way we get some of these things fixed and worked on, because we shouldn't have to live in those conditions. We pay our rent. We pay our rent on time, we don't cause no problems, and we're still discriminated against because of our records. The fact that I hear affordable housing, right? I think of affordable housing, but then a lot of the times, affordable for who? And the reason why I say that is because I've been in meetings where they're developing affordable housing, and I'm a person that's formerly incarcerated. I spent 16 years in the system. I've been out for 14 years. I'm a grad student at the University of Redlands, and as I'm attending some of these functions where they're talking about affordable housing, I always ask the question, what's the criteria? And then I hear what the criteria is. You can't have any violent felonies, you can't have any involvement with the law in the last 3 years. I mean, so who is the affordable housing for? Because it's not for folks living with the record. And that's the true fact about it. Yes, we need affordable housing, but we're excluded from a lot of housing opportunities, employment opportunities, higher education opportunities, licensure opportunities, because of the fact that we're living with the record. I think if I was talking to a politician about what's important, the most important thing is inclusiveness, because folks living with the record today in the United States are not being included in a lot of different things, just such as the things that I mentioned: housing, employment, licensure, family reunification services. It's like, when does it ever end? We always hear this word rehabilitation, right? But we're not even being provided the tools to rehabilitate, or these policies and laws exclude us from having access to housing, which we need housing, employment, which we need that so that way we could work towards sustainability to provide for us and our families. We are not our records. That's the whole thing. We are not our records, but we're still continuously being excluded by policies and laws. So let's change that. Let's change that and start changing some of these policies and laws that exclude people living with the record in the United States. It's important for us to have these conversations. It's important for us to have folks that have been formerly incarcerated at the table. And let's talk about inclusive. What does that mean? Because I'm a taxpayer. I pay taxes. And the thing about it, I'm still being excluded. And I've already been out for 14 years and I can't get licensing. I'm excluded from different employment opportunities. So when is it going to ever end for folks living with the record today? My name is Fidel Chagoya. I work for Starting Over Inc. as an organizer for Riverside, All of Us or None, that works with folks in reentry. Today I'm here at San Bernardino and Cope's block party to provide information to the community of San Bernardino about housing justice for all and what that would look like and what that means.